Hello and welcome back to the Great Seleucid campaign, where we are expanding Alexander's legacy beyond where it has ever reached before. I'm the heir of Carthage, and welcome back. We were last here conquering parts of Iberia and getting ready to make our move to liberate the Turdetani, which I do believe will be kind of like the final moment of the campaign. I think that's going to be like the final goal for me, is just liberate the Turdetani. We could go further, we could conquer things, but I want to just get some fresh content on the channel. You all gave me a bunch of suggestions, speaking of, for fresh content, which I'll be getting to some of those. That was what I asked you all to comment on in the last episode, was different ideas for historical campaigns that we can do in the future. So I'll read some of those to you today. And I don't really have a specific topic for you to talk back to me about in the comments, so feel free to just comment about my ugly mug in the absence of a topic, and we'll read off some of your insults to my ugly mug in the next episode. So here we go. Set myself up for this one, right? The roast heir of Carthage in the comments. So it looks like we were working on a thesis. We had beaten these guys. If I hit them, we're probably going to lose these thorax swords. Just a thorax sword unit is probably not the end of the world. Let's just auto-resolve this and get it over with. Put these guys out of their misery rather than waiting around. We actually didn't lose the unit. That's insane. This confuses me sometimes as to what we get away with and don't get away with. I'm going to raise the settlement because it's been under barbarian control for too long. A lot of stench here. We need to clean out. We don't have much cash ready for this. I'm actually going to cancel some of these other buildings. Make sure that we can build what is needed here. There we go. Still got enough money to run one upgrade there, so that'll take care of the thesis, which means that the war with Tylus is pretty well wrapped up. They've got this tiny little army here. They might just summon up a whole bunch of mercenaries, as the AI has tended to do so many times in the past. Go ahead and first row, so we can just get back to Athens sooner rather than later. Yeah, no more Tylus on the frontier over here, so I think Tylus is basically a dead faction. And looks like I had some armies that are basically getting retrained. We're making a ton of money. Absolute crap ton of money. That's all we need to do for this turn. I don't think there's anything else that I had. Let's go check my movements here. We do have the Heralds of Triton. They are sitting with an upgrade point available. Movement range when an admiral. They do have this Tylusian fleet out here. I'll move towards it, see if we can put some pressure on it. Got the Claws over here, who had taken Ars. I'm gonna kind of sit here. The Arverni have an army moving in, so it may be necessary for us to defend here. That would give us one pike, a couple slingers, then our royal peltists and archers. Might be a tough fight, depending. I don't know. Up against this many levy freemen, it probably would be doable. I know levy freemen are basically MLG, but I think we would win that one. The Griffin's Grace is just standing watch at the moment, and Pericles' Pride, same. They do have movement available, though, so I just go ahead and march towards Nicomedia. Sons of Rhea, let's get their upgrade taken care of. We're going to put that into Siege Experts. And then the General can finish off the Strategist tree. Alright. The Demons, or in this case, the Matt Damons of Polmos. Interesting name. I like it. Let's see, the Heralds of Thanos and Kyra. Alright, so I think we are now ready to end the turn. Let's get some of your comments here. Dementia. Thank you, by the way, Dementia, for all your support. You're absolutely a mad lad. It says, for the next historical campaign, I'd love to see follow the samurai playthrough as the Sui. Playing the diplomacy ninja game in an area with heavy fighting. I'm assuming you're talking about with agents, like a lot of agents. Let me know if that's what you meant, is like using diplomacy and a lot of ninja agents, or are you thinking like Kisho ninja on the battlefield? Let's load this one up. Thanks, Dementia. Hans says, would really be interested to see an Empire campaign for the first time in a long time. Or maybe trying something new by checking out the Lord of the Rings mod for Medieval 2. Some interesting ideas. Thank you, Hans. Appreciate it. David P. says, I'd definitely watch and enjoy another Rome 2 campaign. Some faction with an interesting, more offensive-oriented roster like Kush or Swaby, or a Cav-focused faction like Parthia. I'd also enjoy a Rome campaign, however, I think it would have to be with some challenge or restriction, as Rome is just so OP as a faction. I mean, they're not as OP as you think in this game. However, they are very good, especially in the hands of a player. But in the hands of the AI, not terribly frightening. I'm going to just unload my boats here. Shouldn't be too difficult. And then I'll leave my artillery ships in a nice support position right here. Turn them over to the standard round. And we'll do something like this. Like I'll just kind of pull up here. Alright, let's get things started. Start the battle.
Assault ships reporting. If we are victorious and live,
Get these first ships unloaded. We have an Oathsworn there, so we'll want to make sure we target him with artillery. There's a couple of Celtic slingers. I have my own slingers, which can help quite a bit against those. These ships are nearly unloaded. So I'm going to get these next two lining up. Or, sorry, I just need one, actually.
orders, my lord.
My order was to cease. Cease and desist.
The oars. General.
Okay. Put the Royal Peltast. Alright, gonna get those ships out of the way.
Support ships ready.
I know I could have unloaded all my troops at once a little further away, but I think we'll be alright doing this. I'm gonna give it a shot. Thought I'd get all my Royal Peltast off the boats.
Our oars are set. To the oars. Slingers.
I'm trying to get these slingers in slightly better position.
At my lord. Guard.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
Pikes.
Alright, I'm using my mob kind of as a blocker and bait.
General.
My Royal Peltast up. Alright, the second load of troops is getting off the boats.
At the double. Persian archers.
I don't remember there being any enemy cavalry.
Wavering.
At the ready.
I'm basically just going to kind of use my garrison troops as sacrificial lambs here. People of Ars may not be so happy that my navy came here to conquer.
Artillery ships.
To a... Let's target the enemy Oathsworn.
Fire.
Our general is under attack.
Standard rounds.
Royal Peltasts. Royal Peltasts.
I'm gonna send one that way and one this way.
Royal Peltasts. General.
General's under fire here. I don't love that. Enemy general hasn't taken any significant hits yet, but... Alright, it's time to charge in with our Royal Peltast. I'm gonna spread them out a little.
We await your command.
Take them out of formation attack.
General.
My Admiral, I'm actually just gonna back up out of range of those slingers.
Royal Peltasts.
I meant to unload my next round of ships.
We await your command. Give way. Persian archers.
My Persian archers up here. Okay, my general, or admiral, I should say, is back at a safe distance.
As you command. Royal peltasts.
I don't think these guys quite hit their orders like I wanted them to, but
Infantry ready.
so be it. My boats are still firing at the enemy general. They must have scored some hits because he's taking some casualties.
Melee troops. Take
I use the whip here. My Persian archers, I'm going to begin firing on the enemy slingers.
that. General.
And if I need my admiral, I'll bring him in
Commander.
late. I'm going to pull my royal peltast up
Our men flee the field of battle.
and start slinging some javelins into the back of that Oathsworn. Got some Celtic slingers here.
Melee troops awaiting orders. Understood.
The enemy Oathsworn general should be taking a ton of damage, but surprisingly very little so far. Somehow the Celtic slingers have managed to already kill 3 of my units, and I'm under extremely heavy fire with this unit.
Double time.
This may end up being a fool's errand here.
Orders.
Their slingers turned against those Gallic hunters.
Royal peltasts.
One of our
Reef, I'm
units
getting
has
absolutely
used all its
wiped
ammunition.
out with this unit.
Engage.
Well, I've got my archers doing some work. I'm gonna go ahead and commit the last of my royal peltast.
Ready for orders. Melee infantry. Royal peltasts. At your service.
Starting to put a dent into these Gallic hunters. That's gonna force their levy freemen forward, so I'm gonna fall back and try and stay ahead of them.
We await your orders.
I'm now in range of these Celtic slingers, which are near at hand. My own slingers just put an end to some more of their Gallic hunters. So now I should be in good shape. Some of my royal peltasts were starting to take some pretty egregious damage, but at this point, I think we're going to be coming out of the woods soon. Oh yeah, boy, their slingers are going to eat it in a big hurry now. Continued firing my ships at their admiral, or at their general. Probably not the smartest thing I've ever done.
Orders. Understood. Orders. To arms. My lord.
I'm going to continue to put fire on their skirmishers. We're at kind of almost point blank range now. I've got one of their levy freemen coming in behind me.
General.
I'm going to pull my admiral out of combat and head that way.
Royal peltasts. Melee infantry. We await your orders.
Kind of surprised that the army losses haven't started to mount here.
Melee troops awaiting orders. Understood.
Charge in here with my admiral. Please don't die. Use the whip.
My lord. Fire.
Turn some fire this way. Levy freemen ought to die in droves to my royal peltast. I think we can kill off these. Yep, just kill those. Hopefully we can turn the power bar entirely here.
Artillery awaiting orders. We await your command.
Okay, archers, take it easy because we're getting a lot of friendly fire.
We are at your command. Royal peltasts. Melee infantry. Royal peltasts. Awaiting orders. Pikemen. Cut them down. General. Royal peltasts. By your command.
Our general has fallen.
Really? My admiral falls with 83 men left fighting a levy freeman that was defeated? That is a fat log if I've ever seen one. That crap gets me so salty. Ugh. I don't know if that was my general or like my admiral. I'm assuming it was my admiral. Because why would the AI like just kill my garrison general when it can go for the real deal? Yeah, it was my admiral. Bunch of BS. Garbage. Fat sack of crap. It's the game just extracting one of my generals from me just because they can. Ugh. 83 men left up against a unit that has almost no armor piercing damage and that was overmatched and about to rout anyway. Have to turn around and take my admiral with him on the way out the door. Bunch of hot garbage. Anyway, let's get to some comments before I get any more salty. Mocker says, loving the series. Remember when you have reinforcements come, look for the yellow triangle on the minimap to find out which direction they're coming for. Also, I know your war for Spain's begun, but will we get a war for the Black Sea Pontus to start too? I don't know. Depends on what Pontus does. I'm not going to go out of my way to attack them just yet, as I'm, busy cleaning up other things. Yeah, I've only got 2 more politicians left from my own dynasty, so it'd be great if they could quit killing off my admirals in such ridiculous fashion. And I do mean utterly ridiculous. Numantia is looking pretty vulnerable. And there's really no reason why we shouldn't just push on in and hit the Gauls as hard as we can. Wreck the Gauls. Tis the season to wreck the Gauls. Alright. Let's go ahead and raise the settlement. Don't need to build that. Ready for some more research. Militarily speaking, there's really not much left for me to do. Recruitment cost for all ships, upkeep cost for all fleets. That actually could be pretty handy. Go ahead and do that.
At your command.
And let's see, this army had gotten some Syrian heavies. Let's get some other troops here. Let's replace these thorax swords and thurio spears. Disband. Grab some silver shields. Royal peltists, those will be much more appropriate troops for this stage of the game. And we almost certainly could attack Pontus right now. If I remember right, though, Pontus might actually have some diplomatic standing with me. I don't remember for sure. They do. They're a trade partner. And we have a non-aggression pact with them, so it'd be pretty egregious for me to declare war on them at the moment. I don't intend to do that. I'm sure we'll have a war pop up, you know what I mean? Like, war finds us in this campaign, so I'm not terribly worried about it. Like, there will be war.
Ready for orders.
Speaking of war, what was my agreements like with the Iceni? Trade agreement as well.
Are you brave or foolish, or just mad?
You're mad.
Speak. I will listen. Before
A decent
I turn
trade
you
agreement with them.
inside out.
They're at war with Carthage and the Boii. I'm gonna end my trade agreement with them. Go ahead and start the bleeding. Get ready for battle. Some smaller factions. Who are these guys? Celtic Confederation? I guess, can I not speak with them?
Are you brave or foolish? Or
They're at war
just
with Pontus
mad?
as well.
Well, speak.
Got a trade
I
agreement
will
going with
listen
them as well for
before I turn
853.
you inside out.
What about Getae? Yeah, Getae basically says get out.
Gods of the afterlife, spare my...
Right, so the Getae would be a good target. Last remnants of Tylus here raiding my lands.
Make haste, men.
They're about to die.
Leave none alive.
They are. You are about to die. I do not salute you. Just kill the captives here, get rid of them.
Ready for battle.
Good riddance. We have a... yeah, there's a crossing point right there.
Haste, men.
Ready to make the crossing.
We hunger for battle.
This army will no longer be needed in Rhodes. They'll start sailing towards Pella. And no real reason not to force that.
Ready for orders.
Same thing with this army, just go ahead and move north. Silver shield swords. Looking good, looking good.
At your command.
So, I think we're in good shape. This army needs some better troops. Let's ditch this crap en masse and start some improving. Let's do some more pikes out of this army. We've been doing almost exclusively swords out of it, so let's grab some silver shield pikemen.
Soldiering. It's a good life.
There we go. Alright, that army will be appropriately dominant. Start swinging around. So the Heralds of Triton.
For the gods!
This last little remnant of Tylus here.
Alive!
I think this will be the end of Tylus. Yep, that's the end of their faction. Alright, so Tylus is no more.
Steady as we go. Docking.
Get docked and start replenishing. Alright. Head and build up Asia a little bit while we're there, and we have the money to do so. Numantia is being, or Numantia, however that's pronounced, it's being rebuilt. This army is gonna camp here at Nemosus because it doesn't have walls. So it would be the most vulnerable garrison. Take our spy and go check out some of the remaining Arverni positions.
The gods have brought me to you. Hermes, watch over this traveler.
Alright.
For battle.
Is he replenishing?
For battle.
These guys are kind of just awaiting war with Pontus, honestly. Go ahead and end the turn, and war with Pontus seems almost inevitable. Pontus has nowhere left to go, really. Nor do I. So I feel like it's inevitable. We'll see what happens. Alright, let's see here. Agent hindered. Big deal. Muster an army. I'm not worried about mustering another army at the moment.
At your command.
Actually, Pontic territory. I mean, do I really care about miffing Pontus? I think we do.
Make haste, men.
Trespassing, indeed.
At your command.
That I am.
At once. Yes. Your next command. Ready for battle.
We're in a pretty good position if Pontus attacks. I think we're in a pretty solid position, actually. Be able to push back.
Ready for orders.
Rivers of Olympus at Tolosa. They're now completely refit and ready to march to war. Begin the long march. Actually, it'd be better for these guys to make that march. And for this army, make this march. Okay, there we go. Some improvements. Go hit up some of our settlements here. Not a barracks, so we'll need a stable and a Perioikos camp. Let's go ahead and upgrade the colonies. It's Asia. Italia is pretty much fully built. Nabatea is pretty much fully built. Syria is looking very nice. There's Egyptus. Africa is looking pretty solid. I think Grecia is okay for the moment, so I'm kind of just looking for weak spots. Need to be built up more. This is near the border to Pontus. Probably not a bad idea. Be prepared. I'm gonna throw the kitchen sink at Caucasia. Make sure that it is ready to fight. Ready to train armies if necessary. Alright, now let's end our turn. Get to some more comments here. Pyrrhic Strategos says, "Hi Air, great episode as always. For a future campaign, how about playing Total War Attila using the Age of Justinian mod and finish the job that Emperor Justinian and General Belisarius started in reconquering Western Roman Empire from the barbarians, while also fending off the Sassanids and maybe even taking more territory from them." That's a fun idea. I like that idea, like the whole reestablish Rome thing. These guys want a peace treaty. I am not going to give it to them. You shouldn't have declared war. Tommy Salty says, "Another great episode. We had Apacheville constructed." Yep, we sure did. It's guaranteed to happen in my campaigns. He says, "Regarding historical campaigns, really enjoyed your legendary West Rome, which inspired me to buy Attila, play West Rome on very hard, which I completed. I also like the Himyar campaign, which he decided to drop. So I'd like to see that finished." Oh, sorry, accidentally clicked out here. He says, "Oh, we got slums. You just talked about Apachevilles, right in time." Hit up with a slum here. I wish they would just let you, like, put something there to build. Like, it's like CA setting you up to get slums. They don't remind you about it, and then they don't let you do anything about it immediately. You have to remember it on the next turn. There we go. Keep that attack order going. This army is all but entirely replenished. Yeah, we're trespassing the Celtici. I'm not exactly worried about it. I mean, come out, fight me. I dare you. Maybe is replenishing some unseasonal conditions all over the place because we basically cover the entire world. Action the Saba. I thought the Saba were destroyed a long time ago. They must have just been sailing around with like one ship. Alright, we have got Pontus in check. Pontus so much as twitches funny on me right now. I'll have him. The Getae are probably like, huh? Where did this come from? Alright, so the Getae are about to find themselves in a very unpleasant position. They're about to be the newly conquered subjects. Kind of stand on this border here. Put some pressure on Pontus and see what happens. Look at Thracia here. Get some work done. Oops. That needs to be a stable. Perioikos camp. Mountain. Grades. Really need this port here. Let's to fishing port. There we go. We're starting to have a ton of money left over, so I'm going to really focus that money in to key areas here. All right. This army can march north.
We cannot follow this order.
Nice secondary force.
We hunger for battle.
Hannibal's revenge is just waiting for some more. Could trespass the Iceni to get to those guys, but we'll wait just a little longer.
At your command. Ready for orders.
Yep, everything's in position. Maka Attack says, thanks, Air. Enjoyed this playthrough. Would love to see a campaign using Rome's auxiliary troops. That'd be an interesting one. An all auxilia campaign. Thanks, Maka. History and Footy Lover says, great episode. You're definitely close to ultimate victory in this campaign. I really enjoyed your Rome 2 Octavian campaign back in the day. I believe that was the first Total War campaign I watched in full on your channel. Roman history has always fascinated me, so I was instantly interested in that one. Follow the Samurai or an Empire campaign would be really good to see. Well, thank you for the ideas. And I'm glad that you are enjoying the campaign. Well, here's the war we were waiting on, folks.
One creature. That is our...
Huh, the Iceni didn't join them. Oof. Big ouch. I was kind of excited for the Iceni to join them, but the Iceni know what happens when they go to war with me, so I guess they're a little bit hesitant. Athena's faithful require a leader. Only got one member of my dynasty left. Enemy wounded. Wounded. Antiochus II was wounded. Interesting. So the Celtic Confederation wounded my king. I don't think that was a smart play. Like, I can't say that that was a move that's gonna buy you any mercy at the hands of my men.
We hunger for battle.
Bring it on.
This settlement.
Bring it on, uglies. Let's go ahead and fight the Getae. We haven't fought them yet. There's unfortunately not really any Falx troops here. It's just heavy spears. I mean, at least they brought the heavy spears. Some noble horses, and then they've got a noble swordsman. General, let's wreck them. I've got 2 armies to their 1. And this first army here, the Pikes are going to be good, and my archers will be quite good. Swordsmen will be okay against these types of spears. Oh, they sallied out? What in the world were they thinking? They were not thinking much. Right, so my reinforcements coming from screen left. And...
Silver shield swordsman.
At your service. Spears ready.
Silver shield swordsman.
Are you really Silver Shield Swordsman? Yeah, they are, actually. Except for one.
By your command.
Thereos spears.
You know how they're always promoting themselves sometimes. Trying to oversell their capabilities, so I have to keep an eye on what I've actually got. There we go. Alright. My first group ready to move in.
Riders, advance!
The AI, yep, it looks like they're going to march forward. They do have a
Our
lot of cavalry.
Have arrived.
A whole heck of a lot of cavalry. But so do I, because I have 2 armies. See what these guys are up to.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Yeah, it was always in our favor. Move this army up on the flank. Or just move it up entirely. They got a lot of troops moving onto the battlefield.
Silver shield swordsman. Silver shield swordsman. Melee troops. Orders understood. Advance at speed. Our orders. Advance at speed. Orders. Riders advance. Riders our orders. Quickly now. Come on. At your service.
I'm gonna have to be a little careful with some of my elephants because they do have a considerable number of skirmish cavalry. And probably a great number of javelins at their disposal. Enough to have a heck of a Javelin Day celebration, no doubt. Alright, this army is getting formed up.
Silver shield swordsman.
These guys are about to get absolutely crushed.
Lock formation.
Double time.
Cataphracts!
Still just outside of range. Let's push into range. Nation heavy skirmishers. Cool skirmisher units, but they're going to be outranged and definitely outgunned, considering I've got a lot of Syrian heavies in the other army. Those Syrian heavies should be in range, or at least very near the range of the bow horsemen once they cease their movement order.
Hellenic cataphracts!
I'm gonna match their move here and try and bring myself into range, see if I can force the Dacians to move at me. Oh yeah, those bow horsemen are gonna get slaughtered. AI's still pushing towards my flank.
Thoreo spears!
Thoreo spears are gonna get those bow horsemen. The bow horsemen may be pulling up to shoot at my elephants, so I'm gonna play it a little bit safe here and move back. They did not. I kind of expected them to, and that would have been the play. We've gotten the attention of some of the Dacians over there. Let's use my Azet Knights to bog that fight down. Guard mode. I'm gonna tear up bow horsemen. I'm not really worried about their horses running charges into me. It's gonna be a suicide charge at best. Yep, just tear their horsemen up. So my Azet Knights tear through there. That Silver Shield Swordsman's gonna resist these cavalry charges pretty well. Gonna kind of let the Dacians collapse into me and die, really. Not a whole lot else I need to do at the moment.
Ready and waiting.
The bow horse pulling up on me.
Persian archers!
Give them some unwanted attention. That noble horseman can beat me on the charge. Not if they're not charging me. Azet Knights still trying to clean this fight up. They're doing very well. They're definitely winning. Yeah, that noble horseman's getting shredded now. Alright, group 1 can now entirely move up the flank. My heavies back into a safe formation.
Commanders, ready and waiting. Melee troops awaiting orders. Silver shield swords.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay,
Heavy archers.
and these Dacian skirmishers.
By your command.
So the Getae are going to feel the full wrath of the elite Seleucid armies. Boy, those heavy skirmishers are getting mowed down too. And those are heavy skirmishers. We got a whole army moving in. In fact, I'm gonna peel off some of the units from this army.
Advance at speed.
Shield bearers.
Hellenic cataphracts. Silver shield swordsmen. Hellenic cataphracts. Yes, forward. Persian archers. Advance. Right forward. Our order.
Wow, those Azet Knights got a ton of kills. 75 cavalry kills.
By your command. General, as you command.
Start mowing down that Oathsworn.
War elephants. Advance. Persian archers. Pikes.
Oh man, that Oathsworn got absolutely massacred by my archers. Now they're about to get hit hard by Azet Knights and then followed up with elephants. They got braced before the Azet Knights hit them though.
Is under attack.
So
General. Orders.
that was a nice play by them. Not that it's going to save them.
Pikes. Collect.
They're going to be in a very nasty place indeed. Mercenary Indian war elephants, thorax pikes,
By your command. Orders understood.
follow it up with some silver shield swords. Just because we can.
Melee troops awaiting orders.
Alright, I'm just gonna collapse into the back of these spearmen. So, not terribly surprised that the Dacians got absolutely owned there. The Getae, Dacians, whatever I want to call them there. I call them Dacians because I'm still used to Rome 1. But the Getae, that will work. They were definitely not equipped for that battle, and it showed. Welcome to the war, gents.
Ready for orders.
And then the Celtic Confederation.
Commander.
Little snot faces. Injuring my king, huh? Injuring my king. You think that this was a good move, a move that would keep you safe. Alright,
Get the stakes up.
we got Athena's Faithful, Heracles' Pride. Oh, that's right.
Commander.
You little turds are about to have some very serious wrath visited upon you. And it will be hot and fast. Let's see. Let's get some wealth. Finish off some of that stuff in Asia. Oh, well, that's slums. I don't remember if I ended a turn yet since we did the slums. I think I did. Yeah, I did. So let's go ahead and put a building in here so that we don't repeat that situation yet again. Though that would pretty much fit the bill for the way that I do things. So Lispo is looking pretty well unguarded.
To the settlement.
Alright, raise Lispo. Air. Build. Okay. So the Arverni are down to, I believe, their last settlement as well. And is it the Sequani? Yeah, so these guys, the ones that declared war on me. I do have a border with them here. Let's go get on that border. So they've basically volunteered their settlement for capture, which I appreciate, you know? It's just easier that way
My skills.
when they want to help out.
The gods would not allow it.
You know, I don't know what the gods will allow, but let's just do something, okay?
Mischief. I apologize for my failure.
Yeah, you are a failure. Let's see here.
My journey begins.
Continue the journey. Builds of Triton are replenished. Next fight is almost certainly going to require a presence in that vicinity, so I'm going to head that way.
Tis an honor to serve.
Fairly safe here, but I'm going to keep this fleet. Could come in handy. Masada, yeah, they are standing where they need to be. They are where they need to be.
Your command.
Same.
At your command. Ready for battle. Ready for battle.
Yeah, we've got everybody in position where we want to be, so let's go ahead and save our money, and then I'll spend it on the next turn. Get a couple more comments here. Darth Surrey says, I think it would be very cool to see, to relive the glory of Flintlock Patchy in either Empire or Napoleon. It's definitely a fun idea. Thank you for sharing it. No, you're not getting a peace treaty. Rory says, great to see another episode drop. Cheers, Air. Well, thank you, Rory. Appreciate it. Sir Arthur says, welcome back. Worth the wait for this campaign. For the next campaign, try Rome 2 as Carthage, but Hannibal become the leader. Meanwhile, Antiochus become a general like the Seleucid campaign. So like kind of a reverso world of this one. Be interesting. So a whole bunch of naked warriors, an interesting choice. So we're going to be run at by a bunch of Celts in their nudity onto a line of thorax pikes and elite swordsmen and archers. Seems like a good idea. You know, I think you barbarians have finally figured this out. Wait, Matthew Wong says, I would like to see a historical total war taking place in the 600s to 900s. See rapid expansion of Islam, the Byzantine Empire, and large migrations of people. That could be interesting. Jonathan says, if I had to choose a historical campaign, I think you should follow a theme similar to the movie Last Samurai and Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai, where you use samurai armies to crush the Imperial Westernized troops. That would be very difficult to do. But I have to admit, it would be strangely satisfying if you were able to pull it off. But yeah, it would be difficult. Because the samurai troops are dog poopy compared to the Imperial ones. So yeah, that would be a real challenge for sure. Get our army spread and ready to fight. The archers backing up the pikes. Shock cav. And a melee cav on each flank. Alright, ready to rock and roll. Very standard single line battle formation here. Single line meaning single infantry line.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
Oh, those naked swords. Is freezing cold. They've got hundreds of archers facing them down, as well as a line of sarissas. Not a good day or idea to be naked. I think they're going to have some serious regrets before this day is over. You know what to do, men. Prepare the sarissa kebabs. Let's watch the naked warrior's point of view here. I do have some light cavalry moving to my flank. Yeah, look at this. Mostly naked warriors, I should say. Charge that. Light cavalry rolling up my flank here. Yeah, this is not gonna go well. Oh my god, yeah, whole unit completely decimated there. Here they run straight into the sarissas. We shall see whether or not the barbarians... Oh, that's a skirmish cavalry. Let's get off of that one. It's a Germanic scout rider. We will never catch them with that cavalry. Yeah, those naked swordsmen did not fare well against my pikes, and I can't say that I'm any sort of surprised. They got some longbow hunters here. I'm gonna let their noble cavalry off the hook for a moment. Royal Peltis probably really shouldn't be trading with such a cheap cavalry unit, but it's the only thing I've got to trade out here at the moment.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
My Royal Peltist, in fact. Out of position with my Ozet Knights there. I'm gonna kill off these Celtic youths. There were some longbow hunters there as well. This barbarian horde is really fizzling out against my pikemen here. Again, not terribly surprised.
Silver shield swordsman.
Heavy archers are really waylaying these Celtic youths as well. Enemy generals going for a suicide charge straight into the sarissas. And there he's going to take the wrath of a bunch of heavy archers. So down he shall go. I'm going to go ahead and target the next lines of swordsmen that are moving in. This is not a pretty time. Coming to battle naked. bringing a knife to a gunfight. Well, these guys are going to have a lot of new piercings, though. Some in pretty undesirable places, but I guess we'll be helping them set a new fashion trend.
The enemy general is dead.
Silver shield swordsman. At speed.
Well, these thorax pikes up the middle here have got a lot of kills. Take out those Celtic youths. Germanic scout rider's still being a pest, but it'll run out of ammo eventually and then have to charge in. Other longbow hunters.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Cool looking unit, but again, totally outmatched. There's their longbow hunter. Now look what they're up against. Armored archers. Nice eastern bows there. So, get wrecked. Let's actually get reset. I'm gonna go into heavy shot here and murder up this Oathsworn real good. Heavy shot, though, has pretty reduced range. My guys are gonna be very tired. They've been firing near non-stop. Alright. Go ahead and quit playing with our food and finish this one off. Alright, there's the heavy shot into the Oathsworn. Where heavy shot causes additional armor piercing damage.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Rail peltasts. Silver shield swordsman.
Alright, let's get our Syrians to cease fire. Most of them are out of ammunition. That Oathsworn's gonna get overwhelmed. Tough unit, but totally overmatched right now. Up against 2 elite swords and a heavy cavalry. And not just a heavy cavalry, but a heavy melee cavalry as well. And here comes the coup de grace here. Alexander would approve. Those barbarians just got a fine lesson in Alexandrian tactics. And I guess their lesson is mostly geared towards the what happens when you aren't properly prepared for them model. You can see that my thorax pikes there are going to have sore Sarissa arms for days. And a clear and distinguished victory.
Is that all?
I think that when we fought that, it pulled us forward just slightly into enemy territory. Could be wrong. Antiochus has been healed, and this was his army here, I believe, Athena's faithful. So let us get him. Disband is not possible. Maybe we have him in the wrong stance. Oh. Oh, I think we have to go into details here. Place. Where's Antiochus? Here he is.
At your command.
Alright. Antiochus back in command. So our king is back and ready to take his vengeance out upon the Celtic Confederation. And they are going down. That's going to hurt my
Cannot pass here.
diplomatic status with people, but I don't care. These guys are going down for pulling that. Continue the siege, and Antiochus will have his revenge for the attempted assassination.
Ready for battle.
We took some attrition here. This army is in a forced march. They're going to get caught out in an ambush.
Battle!
It's giving them far better chances than they deserve, so I think I'll deal this one out personally. I know they have chosen swords, which are decent, but I don't see this ending anywhere near what the AI is predicting there. Alright. Yeah, they are gonna die
What are your orders?
fast and hard. It's a weird deployment to give them here where they don't have to be outflanked. It's kind of irritating, honestly, that they were given such a deployment. Army's not particularly good either, the way it's set up at current.
Silver shield swordsmen! Silver shield swordsmen! Royal peltasts!
Okay.
Azats! Armed elements! Defensive positions! Defensive positions! Ready?
Alright, let's get this done. Battle rolling. Go cut off their
Our hidden
retreat
units have been discovered.
positions.
Silver shield swordsmen! Ready for orders. Silver shield swordsmen! Ready
Gonna
for
get a
orders.
little bit trashed on the charge here.
Royal peltasts! Spear infantry at command! Royal thorax swordsmen! Melee infantry ready!
But double up that Oathsworn. Send a rear charge to wake them up.
Silver shield swordsmen!
Kind of outnumbered over here, and we took a charge from a lot of barbarian infantry, so
Waiting. By your command! Fire! Awaiting orders! Armed elements!
let's bring in the armored elephants.
By move! Royal peltasts! Melee cavalry and elephants at the ready! Tigers at first! Silver shield swordsmen! Royal peltasts!
Oh, that Oathsworn tore us apart on that charge.
Back now! Orders!
We've got them on the run now, though.
Yes, Commander! On the mark! Glory! Swords! Ready and waiting. Your orders!
Just a thorax sword.
Melee troops!
Alright,
Orders!
let's inspire some of our troops.
Our general is under attack.
Got hit by some of their light cavalry over here. Let's get it off me. Light pelt just ended up in melee as well. Not what I was intending. Let's pull my armored elephants through here. Kick in the trample damage. A little bit of a rear charge here. Try and finish it off that Oathsworn. How did my Azat Knights get so torn up there? Just try and finish up this fight quickly before I lose some of my units that are being attacked here.
The men are wavering.
It's my light peltist unit that got hit over there.
Ready and waiting. Melee cavalry.
My general should have a lot of kills. Yeah, he's got about 600. I turned on the Stampede and then just kept him rolling.
Our
So we
men
should see
flee
a
the
pretty big
field of
wrap-up
battle.
of the enemy troops
This
here.
is a shameful display.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, just watch the kill count climb on these elephants, rocketing up over 600.
As you wish.
As this fight is going to completely collapse right here.
Armed elephants.
690.
Got double.
There we go. That's going to get rid of them. So the Celtic Confederation easily dispatched. In a pretty decisive manner there. Not surprised some of their units got some kills because the charge on the barbarian units is pretty good. And then locally they were outnumbering me in a lot of these fights. So again, not totally surprising there. But in the end, the elephants, like I've said before how much damage they can get done. The barbarian infantry, and there was a good example. Just what I mean by it. This army can now replenish quickly. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed the episode. I am signing out for now. I'll have more videos for you here soon. Keep an eye out for them. HeirofCarthage signing out. I will see you then.